Hello, it's so delightful to be included in this special celebration of India, Merton, Tagore, so many aspects of Indian culture. My name is Christopher Chappell. I'm the Doshi Professor of Indic and Comparative Theology at Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, where I also direct the Master of Arts in Yoga Studies. And what I would like to share with you today are just a few key philosophical insights that we see available to us through the various traditions and practices of India, and practices that spoke to the very personhood of Thomas Merton. And in the wonderful book that is being celebrated today, we saw that he did and he knew so much. Traveled to Asia, entered in dialogue with religious leaders, Hindu religious leaders, Buddhist religious leaders, and as a man of his times was really at the pulse of that need in the 1960s to move beyond the binary. So what I'll be sharing today is a presentation, very short, I promise you, that is titled Beyond the Binary, India, Merton, and Tagore. We're going to talk about poetry, not specifically about Tagore. And our starting point here is a sheer awareness of dualistic thinking. So often we're caught into, oh, right, left, hot, cold, you, me, subject, object, good, bad, winner, loser. Okay, this languaging is really a precondition for encounters of conflict. We need to go beyond these binaries. In the Upanishads, we have fourfold analysis, a fourfold analysis of what it means to be a human. You're not just spirit and body. You're a very complex, layered participant in reality, a reality that is defined by our waking state, informed by our dreaming state, a reality that includes the possibility of entering deep states of meditation. And in India, you know this from the terminology of nirvana itself, there's this state called the fourth state, which is a sense of freedom, an experience of freedom that then can come back to inform our waking reality, our dreams, and our meditation. Another way to think about yoga is the breath. And we know from these verses that asana, those yoga postures, bring about steadiness and ease, and that we can feel quite lovely and uplifted, and we can feel immune to the assaults of the opposites. And in this, our breath becomes control, and it actually can go into a place of great quiet. And when that can happen, that covering, the densities of karma that obscure our true nature, they dissolve. The Bhagavad Gita, the great text that inspired Mahatma Gandhi and so many millions over the generations, says, the one known as the eternal renouncer neither hates nor hankers, freed from the opposites, the dvandavas. This lovely person is freed from bondage, neither hating nor hankering. And I want to close, as I promised, with a little bit of poetry. And this is a living connection. Reverend James Lawson, I just spent the day with him a couple of weeks ago, still bringing forth teachings straight from the 1950s as he learned them in India and as he has shared them at Holman United Methodist Church for decades and decades. He trained Martin Luther King Jr. He studied with the Gandhians in Sevagram Ashram. And he says, love the enemy, be generous. And regarding the opponent, he says, don't imitate their language, don't adopt their theologies and idols. Explore the pathway of a humanity being fully alive. Identify yourself with the human family. You cannot overcome evil with evil. So as we celebrate Merton's wisdom, as we celebrate the tenderness of Tagore's literary offerings, as we celebrate the pluralistic message of India, we find the possibility and the hope of letting go all of the oppositional thinking. And we know that as a people, we can move beyond the binary and remember the centrality of the common good. Thank you for listening. Namaste.